Alrighty. Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining in and welcome to City School CEO Community Conversation, tapping into youth voice with Dr. Sonia Santelises. My name is Bryce Taylor, and I will be the youth moderator for today's programming. I'd like to give a huge thanks for the students for their patience and willingness to stay committed and engaged and mindful of themselves and their peers and their education. In addition, welcome and thank you to the families and partners for their support, advocacy, and collaboration. Today's CEO conversation, tapping into youth voice with Dr. Santelises, will be an opportunity for City Schools leadership to speak directly to our student populations and provide clarity and next steps, as we're all going through such unprecedented times and practicing social distance and staying academically engaged while at home. I'd like to take the opportunity for the panelists to introduce themselves.
Hi, good evening. I'm Sonia Santelises, CEO of Baltimore City Public Schools.
Hello, I'm Rashad Staten, Youth Engagement Specialist for Baltimore City Public Schools.
We should have three more kids. Tia?
My name is Jeanpierre Bryant. I'm a senior. I attend Green Street Academy. I'm also a part of the media team for Baltimore City Public Schools.
Jayla Morris, also known as Young Elder. Young Elder. Or Jamari Molden.
Hello, my name is Amari. I'm a graduating senior. I attend PreK Kindergarten.
All righty. Do we have Jayla here as well? Okay, I guess we'll wait. Well, as you can see, myself and all the panelists are joining virtually at home and trying our absolute best. And we're doing it pretty well. So, as we begin today's programming and city schools, we are in our third week of distance learning. My peers and I are doing our best to adjust to the circumstances. Dr. Santelises, will you please start this conversation off by sharing a little bit about the district's response, particularly as it relates to me and my fellow young people?
First, I just want to thank all the young people who have tuned in today, this afternoon. I know everybody has a lot going on. I want to say a special thank you to all of the students that I know are really grappling with this COVID-19 pandemic that we are in right now. This is not just a Baltimore City challenge, just a Maryland challenge, and not even a challenge that is just within our own country, but it actually is a worldwide challenge. And I know for many of you already, the stresses of, being in high school, for those of you who are in high school or middle school, is just compounded in this time of crisis. I know that, I don't know if we have any elementary school students tuned in, but I will say that even the youngest among us can find this time really challenging. And the stories from young people about trying to complete coursework, get that in while still dealing with the fact that you are away from so much of what makes school so appealing still, right? The ability to be with your friends, sports, student government, school music ensembles and plays, and all of that just abruptly ended. But I have to say that even with those challenges, I've been so proud and so impressed of the young people within Baltimore City. You all have just shown an amazing resilience. You've shown a creativity. I have gotten some really important feedback and suggestions from young people. I'm here tonight because I do want to hear from you, our panelists, some of what you're thinking, what your suggestions are We know now, based on really where we are with our health situation, that we will not be able to have in-person graduations for seniors or ceremonies for 8th graders or 5th graders that are in transition. But what we do know is that the creativity that we have as a city will help us to celebrate now, and when it's safe, to bring folks back for an in-person celebration and commemoration. So I'm looking forward to that feedback. We don't yet know when school will end for this year. That we are still waiting, and I know some of you know, but the reality is that I don't make the decision about whether we are reopening school this time. I know we do for snow days, but not for this this particular challenging time. So as soon as I know, you all will know, but we are pretty much hearing and sure that we are going to have to do virtual celebrations. So please, I look forward to hearing from you all. I appreciate your resilience and your creativity. I am not as skilled with social media as many of you all are, but I will tell you some of the highlights of my day are looking on some of the social media posts and seeing just the real creative ways that young people are connecting across the city and contributing during this time. Big thank you to all of you. Some of you I know have been raising money for families across our city in need. Many of you have been helping out at food pantries and just even encouraging your own family members in times like this. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'm gonna stop now, turn it back to our fabulous Bryce Taylor, who's moderating tonight, so we can hear from the rest of our panel. Thank you all so much. Bryce, you're muted. You're muted.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to unpress the mute button. I'll start that again. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanalisis. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for sharing this update with us and making sure that students, we know what's going on and we're always a part of the conversation. And with that, today, everyone is here. We are here to give students the microphone so we can better understand how I and my peers are experiencing and how we need a little more engagement with youth opportunities. So we'll start this panel discussion, and then we'll give you, the audience, some time to ask questions and share your thoughts as well. So we're going to kick off today's student panel with a quick video produced by one of our student panelists for Root Branch Media Productions COVID-19 Youth Contest, Young Elder. So we're going to put that up for you guys right now.
Okay, now we can get started. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I'm staying safe in my home and my community, how I'm keeping up with my schoolwork, spending time with my family, and what social distancing is and why it's important to me. So we got the lights. I got the camera. I guess the only thing left to say is action. Let's go. First things first, I usually wake up around 10 a.m. This is just in time for Miss Joni's success sessions. This success session was actually about money management and budgeting. I take my notes just to make sure I don't miss anything. After that, I go on my Google Classroom to make sure that I'm all caught up with all of my assignments and my teachers. After that, I go out to walk my dog just so I can get some fresh air. When I come in the house, I make sure that I take my shoes off so any dirt that was from outside, it doesn't come inside. After that, I walk straight into the bathroom and wash my hands. I use soap, water, all of that, just to make sure that I get off all of the germs. I wash my hands for 20 seconds just to make sure that it's thorough and my hands are very clean. To stay safe, after my mom comes from the store, we wipe down all the groceries so none of the germs can come into our home. One way that my family and I spend quality time is by playing my favorite card game, Speed. I win every time because honestly, she's a cheater. Social distancing is keeping distance between you and other people. This is important because Although I want to spend time with my family, I don't want to put them at risk of catching anything. So by doing that, we do Zoom calls just to check in with the family and make sure that everyone's well. I still cannot seem to get that smudge. But, well, that's all, guys. I really hope that y'all enjoyed my video. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I heard your kids, they had a cook-off on Twitter. I saw that.
Sure did.
Oh, we're back? All righty, we're back. Okay, so, young elder, that was an awesome video. Can you please start off the discussion? We saw how you were staying busy and why social distancing, and you told us why social distancing is important. Tell us a little bit more about why it's important for students to have a voice during these times.
Can y'all hear me this time?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So, like I tried to say the first time, my name is Young Elder. I go to Forest Park, and I feel like it's important for students to have a voice during this time because, well, we don't really get to go to school, and a lot of the schools are saying something different. So I feel like it's important for every student to have a voice because some people might be going through different challenges than other people. And if we're not getting the information straight from the youth and straight from the students, then how are we going to know that, you know, what we're trying to do to help is going to be accurate?
That makes perfect sense. Now I remember. Can you tell me a little bit? I think you had some ideas as to how students can become more engaged or youth opportunities to become engaged with issues like this.
Can you say it again? It was kind of breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember you saying, is there any ideas that you may have as to how we can get students a little bit more engaged when it comes to issues like this?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like we should definitely put out consistent information because a lot of the schools are giving out different information. As far as
Mhm.
my school, sometimes they say we just have to do the classwork. Some schools are saying the work is just voluntary. Some schools are saying if you don't do the work, you don't graduate. So if we could just have something consistent and like just one platform like this platform where everybody can go and get the information that's right, I feel like it would be really helpful for us because I know as a senior, this is a really, really stressful time. And you like, well, am I going to get my diploma? So I really do think that we need to have something that's consistent across the board that's saying the same thing.
I completely agree with you. Now, can you tell me how's distance learning working out for you? Have there been any complications? Do you have any critiques, anything like that?
So honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, it was really hard to
Please.
me when I first started because my mom, we never had Wi-Fi, and it was stuff on Instagram that was saying, "Oh, you can get free Wi-Fi here," but it when we called the number, like it said that we didn't qualify, or it said, "Oh, we don't get Wi-Fi for your area." So my mom had to go out and buy Wi-Fi, and it's kind of like, well, you know, with Corona and with jobs shutting down, having another bill to add to the pile just so I can get my schoolwork done was really stressful. And it's sometimes it's hard to get in touch with my teachers because they have like online learning. Sometimes they can't really properly answer the questions that I need. Like if I was there and I would just be able to show them. So it's kind of difficult for me. I don't know how it is for everybody else though.
I agree with you 100%. Now, do you think there's anything that your school or the district could have done to help, ease into that process?
Um, I feel like they did the best that they could with as much as they had because they didn't have much. You know, the first 4 weeks we went to pick up the packets, so that was good. We did that, but then some teachers were saying we had to turn in the packets. Some teachers were saying you didn't. So I feel like it would have been helpful if it was just consistent and it was just one thing that everybody knew that you had to do, and that would make it a lot easier.
But they tried their best.
Well,
That's
but
what matters.
I
Please,
also
Dr. S.
want to say to young elder that I appreciate the feedback and that really is important. And what you were saying about the consistency is very helpful because sometimes I think things are consistent from where I sit, and I don't always know what it feels like to be on the side of a student. And so we might think that it's clear, but what you are raising that's very important is we need to go back, because clearly we thought we were consistent and we really weren't. And so we need to do a better job at that. So I just thank you for being honest and really sharing what it was, because that's just going to help us get better.
No, I really thank you just for listening and taking in what I said, because a lot of schools, like for instance, Western, they do like online classes. I go to Forest Park and they don't do online classes. They have like they'll go live from 9 o'clock to 9:30 and to answer questions, but that's it. So it's not really like a full like everybody get on at once thing like that. It's just they give assignments and do the assignments, they grade the assignments and they put the assignments in the grade book. That part is simple for me, but a lot of my friends are doing different things, so I don't know how it's working out for them.
That's good to know. But that do you think it would be easier for you or more beneficial if you had your full classes, or say 30 minutes for each class? Would that make it easier or harder in terms of scheduling?
In reality, I feel like it's almost over. It's becoming close to the end. I feel like if we had to go and do it in the fall, then that would be smart. Like, okay, we should get everybody together in one class. But I think right now, since I'm a senior and I was going to graduate, I mean, my last day was going to be the 14th of May anyway. So it's kind of like, well, it's no point in doing that now. Just finish the assignments so we can be done with it. But I think if you did have to go over in the fall, it would be good to have classes that are all together. And honestly, I think it should be a training for the classes, because not everybody knows how to use Zoom. Not everybody knows how to use, any of the platforms. Some people don't even know how to use Google Classroom and they've been in school. So I think there should be like a training video or something created for people who don't understand, and like Zoom etiquette or something, because I know one of my friends said the kids just be going crazy on the calls and it's just frustrating. So I definitely do think that if we do have to go and do it later, we should like really like hunker down and make it like it's really school.
I completely agree with you, young elder. And for the viewers watching, that right there, that is the magic of this conversation. We just got not only the CEO, but we have a student just conversing about the problems, and there's an understanding. That's why we're here right now, and we are making magic happen. So next up, I want to give Jeanpierre Bryant the chance to speak a little bit. Jeanpierre, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All righty. Now, tell me a little bit about yourself. How are you personally experiencing COVID-19?
Well, again, my name is Jeanpierre Bryant. I'm a senior. I attend Green Street Academy, and I also work for the student media team for Baltimore City Public Schools. As far as experiencing COVID-19, the transition was very hard for me. For me personally, I'm a person of routine. I don't like change. I like to have my schedule one way, and I stick to that way. And little small changes in my schedule kind of really annoy me, tick me off, and just like it throws my whole day off. So when COVID-19 hit, you can probably imagine I was very off balance. I wasn't used to being at home, having to do work online every day. My environment was different. I'm used to hearing the bells, knowing it's time to go to my next class and do different assignments. And just being there physically was easier for me. But now it's been kind of hard to maintain motivation to do my work because I don't have teachers telling me. As much as students think it's annoying to have a teacher constantly on your back saying do this and do that, I actually like that type of motivation because it makes you actually want to do my work because there's a consistency to it. So as far as transitioning to online classes, it was difficult, especially because some teachers work differently. Like for one teacher, I don't get as much work, but for other classes, I get a lot. Like we're as if we're in a school day. And I feel as though since we're in a different environment, situations change. Some things need to change as well, especially the workload. Because if I have a question about an assignment and I can't get to you immediately, like how I'll be able to in class, then it throws me back off my schedule when I'm trying to do my work at a certain time. So the transition for me was pretty hard.
It sounds like though it was hard, you still kind of adapted, and that's pretty cool. Not a lot of people were able to just switch like that, and I'm glad you did. Now we know what's going on. We know what's going on Uh, th- there's a there's an entire virus outside that's sweeping the entire world. How have you been practicing maintaining social distancing and keeping clean and staying safe?
For me, I've only been going outside when it's necessary, and when I do go outside, I wear gloves and I have my mask on. I'm staying distance apart from people just to maintain that safety. Um, I still try to get physical activity in, so I will go to the tracks. But if you go there, you can see that a lot of people were just like staying like about 6 feet apart, just following the rules. And as far as work, I also work at a fast food place, and the way we're maintaining social distancing there is we're only doing curbside food, so no one is able to come in the actual restaurant to maintain that safety. I've also been just staying in the house a lot, constantly washing my hands. My hands have been like so dry because I'm washing them so much. Like as soon as if I step outside to take out the trash, wash my hands. I'm just before I eat, wash my hands after, wash my hands. I'm just washing my hands consistently. Um, and I bought a lot more hand sanitizer than I think is kind of necessary. But it's those type of precautions that are kind of needed to ensure everyone's safety and not just mine. And I've been seeing my family members less because I don't really know what they're doing in their daily life. I don't know if they're going outside and things like that. So in order to protect myself, I have to distance myself from family, which is kind of hard because it's family. But as far as in home, it's kind of annoying how to see the same faces every single day. I kind of miss that aspect of regular life when I can go outside and not be home for a period of time. I don't have to see my sister every day, but now kind of have to. I don't really have a choice. But other than that, that's how I've been really maintaining my social distancing.
Hey, I honestly I feel for you. It's the fact that we're stuck in this quarantine. We can't see our friends, our family, and that's really heartbreaking sometimes. But we have to stay safe. Now, lastly, can you speak specifically on any current work or projects that either you're leading that your school has assigned that's actually keeps you engaged academically, like you really enjoy doing it and it's keeping you in the classroom?
I would have to say for my English class, my teacher has been doing like a lot of activities that are, I guess, fun and more entertaining to keep students engaged and like wanting to do their work. Like I remember the when the pandemic just like recently started, um, one of our first assignments was to rhetorically analyze a meme about coronavirus and like what it meant, and did you think it was funny, and what do you think the purpose of, what do you think the author meant when they did this and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. um, the stuff that my teacher assigns, my AP teacher, she keeps our, our lives right now in mind. Like she doesn't just give us work and be like, hey, do this. It's like she considers that we're probably going through a lot right now. She doesn't know everyone's at home situation, so she spaced out her work according to that. Like I said, I also work for Baltimore City Public Schools. So as far as like um, extracurricular, I am a reporter and I interview people and I try to get word out about the coronavirus and other people's opinion and how to make the transition easier, resources to help students keep engaged, stay updated with their assignments, and wanting to do their work and stuff like that.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Tia.
Not a problem.
All right, next up on the panel we have Jamari Molden. How are you, Jamari?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
That's great. I like to hear that. Now, can you tell me a little bit how are you experiencing COVID? How is it affecting you in your life?
So I'm a graduating singer. I attend PTech at Carver. So not only do I have high school classes, I also have college classes at my local community college. So it's really difficult because I'm a hands-on learner. So it's like whatever work we have, um, I really don't understand because I'm like more of like a hands-on learner. Um, and it's really, really difficult, but I'm getting through it. Now I'm getting more acclimated to virtual learning and stuff like that. So it's going good so far.
I feel for you, honestly. For me, I have to hear the teacher speaking and going through the work sometimes in order to like really get it. Reading it by myself doesn't always work, so I completely understand where you're coming from. Now, how have you been, practicing and maintaining social distance?
Well, I stay in the house all the time. I barely go out. The only time I go out is when I take my little sister to the track. And we play and stuff like that. Try to be active because I've gained a lot of weight. And it's not looking too good. So I try to be active. But when I go out for a run, it's barely people there, so I don't really have to put like a scarf or gloves on. But you know, yeah.
Do you mind sharing me with what your daily routine might look like?
So basically, um, I would um I would put on like my mask and stuff like that. I would put on my gloves and stuff like that. Also, like after I would come out from like the track or anything like that, I would come in the house, wash my hands, um, just in case if I've encountered anything that you know yeah.
And just a quick reminder for the audience, make sure that you are washing your hands constantly when you go outside and wearing your mask. Please be safe. Now, Jamari, tell me, what's been your experience with this district learning? I know you said, you're a hands-on learner, but what's the experience like?
So the experience is it's difficult, but it's also um I feel like it's also a lesson. I feel like a lot of us can learn from this. This just in case if this was ever to happen again, we'll know how to handle it better. Um, as far as high school, I have the best teacher. We get on our virtual learning class on Google Classrooms, and we're all able to join in and talk and stuff like that. But I would say it's not the same as being in person. Some students are shy and stuff like that, so sometimes they don't feel like they have a voice and they don't feel comfortable with asking questions virtually and stuff like that. um but as far as my college classes, it's really difficult um because when they explain work, I would have to then, go on and do my own research and stuff like that because I won't understand. And they're really hard to contact also. So it's really difficult.
But it seems like you're still trying your absolute best, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I asked you this question earlier, but can you speak on any work that you may have in your that's being assigned to you that's really keeping you engaged, that's actively making you want to sign on and log into Classroom?
So yes. So everyone in my class, we all have the same college classes. So we have this one project where it's called um disaster recovery. And basically we have to define what that is, and we have to come up with different mitigations to implement in different businesses and stuff like that. And I really love computers and cybersecurity, so it was really interesting to me and also my classmates. So we're always you know having fun when we do these projects.
Thank you so much, Jamari. I'm glad that you're staying engaged, and it seems like overall that you're working on it and you're trying to make sure that you can get the best out of making the best out of the situation. So I'm glad that things are going well for you. Now I'm going to open it up to another panelist, Mr. Rashad. He's been quiet since the introduction. Now, Mr. Rashad, you are the Youth Engagement Specialist for City Schools. You've been engaged with many of today's student panelists and either leading or supporting initiatives and programming to actively engage and support city school students. With that being said, can you speak on some of the district-led initiatives and programming that is being offered to support, engage, and entertain city school student populations?
Yes, sir. Bryce, thank you, and thanks student panelists Jamari, Elder, Tia. Thank you all, Dr. S. Thank you all for being a part of this platform. As you said and notated earlier in the beginning, that this is exactly the type of program and initiatives and platforms that we as city schools value to make sure that we are intentional around engaging and getting direct feedback and voice from our young people. Being an educational system, we have to make sure to put you all at the forefront. I think what we're all experiencing is we're experiencing at the same time, right? It's that same train. We're all on the same train. We're all buckling down in our seatbelts, and we're all trying to get to the same destination, right? And that destination is our young people's success. It's a learning curve by self. So when we had to, now that certain district personnel, including myself, are working remotely and virtually at home, now we have to be very innovative in our approach to how do we stay connected with you all? How do we stay engaged? How are we supportive? Right? How do we do these consistent follow-ups and things of that sort? And we took a few approaches. One in particular, we've done a few partnerships. City schools have done a partnership with John Hopkins and Elder, who's a part of the Youth Advisory Board. She did the moderation similar to what you're doing, and they hosted a student town hall meeting, one for parents and families and the other one specifically for students. And city schools got behind this initiative with another large agency. The following week, whereas though we were in week 2 of distance learning, city schools kicked off our Spirit Week. We wanted to continue the morale and build the momentum that we're in this together as a school community, and where we had different themes throughout the days. Take a picture or a photo of your favorite book that you're reading or that you're currently reading. Show us an image of you staying active and physically fit. Share some encouraging words that you may want to share with your peers. And Friday, we had a live DJing virtual party with DJ Five Star. I think that was an amazing experience, right? And we're doing these innovative things similar to what we would have done if it was in person, but trying to do something that allows us to be virtually and keep it entertaining and engaging and informative for our young people, right? You all use technology every day, right? From to the moment you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep. I'm close in age with you all, but I'm learning that I still have some disparities between how knowledgeable I am with technology, right? And I think that a lot of times that you all are able to teach us. And city schools is at a point, and Dr. S, under her leadership, she's open to us learning from our young people. How do you want to be engaged through this time? How do we change the educational formality of how we want to support you all, your learning and things of that? And this week, I'm excited because we launched the Youth Up Next Presents programming, which is a weekly programming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Similar to this platform here, and we'll be going into other platforms in coming weeks, where we allow young people on Mondays to capture storytelling using a template in a format of StoryCorps, which is used by NPR Radio. That these young people that are telling their stories on Mondays, actually your recordings will be archived in the U.S. Congress Library, right? So you'll be archived in history of this country, sharing the moments and your experiences that you're going through daily, so that we can record how we were as people during these unprecedented times. So if unfortunately we have to deal with this again, we have a blueprint of young people telling us what to look out for. Wednesdays, it gives us a time where just yesterday, the young people from Augusta Fells Performing Arts Troupe, they did some spoken word pieces. They showed videos of them making music videos, and that was amazing. And tomorrow, we're doing kickback lounges, and that's every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m., which will be a large-scale, exciting platform where we'll do comedy shows with little laughs, doing book readings with Kwandwani Fidel and Dee Watkins and others. These are a larger platform that allows us all to be engaged, not just students, but you can have your family, you can have your siblings all joining you in the room or sharing your phones and things of that sort. And we're just as open to creating different things. We have some things up in the pipeline as far as possible virtual proms and graduations, other large-scale citywide events with the Mayor's Office of Children and Success, of creating a virtual conference that allow you all to tap in that fits your specifics. City schools and myself, we're just trying to be open. We're trying to learn while still moving forward. And we're making sure that we got to make sure to keep you all's voice at the top of our head. So being on a platform like this not our first one, and I'm certain that this will not be our last one, but we're all in this together as a school community. We're all creating programming. We're all trying to fill some type of void, and we all need this human connection. So although we got to be, I always say that your generation is born with an umbilical cord and an iPhone charger. And now the older generations now got to figure out how to connect with you all through these technological outlets, right? So it's exciting to be that middle child that J. Cole talks about and raps about all the time, because I'm literally in it now. But I'm learning a lot from those that are much older and experienced, but I'm learning even more from you all. Like Elders, a video, Tears video, Jamari, when I met him at Carver, and Bryce, what can't you do, right? You all are amazing. So I know our future is bright. It's just continue to create these platforms so that we won't be selfish and just say that we know you, that the world knows you. And I know the world will know you. If it's not today, they'll know you by tomorrow, because you all are doing great work. Thank you for asking that, Bryce.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rashad. And if you don't mind, I don't know if you remember, but there's a Youth Up Next affirmation that I think would be great that you always say. Do you remember it?
Got it. You put me on the spot. You got me the last time. I knew you were sharp like that. The Youth Up Next motto says, I am, and everyone repeats, I am. And then you say, I am up next. And they say up next. And you say, I am up now. And you say up now. So that's what Youth Up Next embodies, the fact that we're passing the baton to you all, and you don't have to wait for tomorrow to lead in your seats, right? You step up to the plate right now, and you lead, and you become the change agents and creating a vehicle of change that you need to be better people. So you are not just up next, but you all are up now. And thank you.
Youth Up Next, baby. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rashad. And now I'm going to open up this for a Q&A. Here's some rules of engagement. The students, you guys are now encouraged to share your questions for Dr. Sanlisa's in the comment section. Questions are monitored and they're evaluated and pulled from YouTube Live. So if you have questions, run on over to YouTube Live, type them in, and we will answer them, excuse me. Or Facebook and YouTube Live. Type those questions.
Bryce, is it okay if I ask a question while we wait for some questions to come through?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Great. So one of the questions I have is, as we move forward and have to think about school in the fall, what do you think, what are you all's suggestions, particularly the students, for how we can get feedback from more of your friends and classmates?
Honestly, personally, I can say the best way to get feedback from my peers and myself, Google Forms. You send us that email and we are on it pretty quickly. My school uses Google Forms religiously and they get feedback absolutely. It's really quick to do. You got to put your name down. It's just basically a multiple choice survey. You take the survey and that's it. But that's the best way to communicate with us, I'd say. Or just use social media because we're all on it. If you post an Instagram post saying that there's a Google form, we'll all see it and things of that nature. Just using technology to get to us is the absolute best way. It's in our face. It's always there, and we're never not on our phones. I can tell you that. Anyone says otherwise, they are lying.
I think you could do polls on social media because some people don't really like. I mean, some people don't like doing forums. So I think Facebook has polls. I don't know. I don't really use it, but I know Twitter and Instagram have polls. So you could put stuff on the social media and say, well, like just ask yes or no questions, and they can answer them accordingly.
I like that. Young elder, since you're already here, we have a question coming in from YouTube, and this person, they want to know, what is the most important thing that you've learned so far regarding this COVID-19 stay-at-home order?
I think the most important thing that I've learned is that you have to really keep yourself accountable because like they said, like the teachers aren't really here to say, oh, you have to do your work or you have to do that. So I think right now it's just a wake up call that time is still ticking and college is still coming up. So I just had to prepare myself and get myself ready for what's next.
100% agree. This next question is for Dr. S. What are the plans for seniors considering school ends May 15th? Well, school ends for us on May 15th.
Great. So one of the one of the things we're looking at now that would be great to get feedback on is what some of your ideas are for graduation, what some of your ideas are for end of year celebrations. I know we're getting some of that back. That would be really helpful because we know, particularly for seniors, this is it's a rough way to spend your senior year. So we would like to help support some of that. And I know that Dr. Pfeiffer, I see, is on and might have some other additional comments on this. Is that
Dr. Pfeiffer, please?
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here, and I want to note a couple things. So that last day for seniors has been extended to May 22nd because of the time that we had off, and we are looking for a variety of ways throughout the month of May to celebrate seniors. So we are looking at everything from having a virtual prom. There is one that Wide Angle Youth Media is putting on May 9th, I believe, and then looking at some other options as well. But mark May 9th on your calendar. We're also looking at doing a Senior Spirit Week, May 18th through 22nd, which would culminate in the big kind of decision day celebration for seniors that Friday, which would be the last day of classes for seniors with the adjusted calendar. So we really would love to hear from young people about what would be exciting to do during that time. And I love the idea of doing polls on social media. So we'll give that a shot.
Thank you, Dr. Pfeiffer. But speaking of hearing from young people, this next question is from me, Jamari, and young elder, and Shanti as well. Do you guys have any ideas as to what we should do for graduation?
I think for graduation, depending on however this pandemic is handled or how long it is drawn out, I feel like if it's over, the sooner it is, then we feel like we can postpone, the schools can postpone their graduation. I think it can still be held. Or if it has to be at a later date. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be too happy with just getting their diploma in an email or through mail and just thinking this is it, because when you watch movies or you've seen previous seniors graduate, you look up to those moments and you're excited for those moments and you think in your head, I can't wait for that to be me. And then now we're just getting it in the mail and things like that. So I feel like it'd be better if it was just postponed.
Okay, young elder Jamari, what do you guys think?
I agree. I just feel like if our diplomas were mailed and stuff like that, it wouldn't be the same. So I would agree.
Do you have your own idea for graduation, Jamari?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
That's fine. Young elder, please.
Honestly, I agree. I feel like it should just be postponed, and we should have a regular graduation just after everything is good, the coast is clear. I feel like we should just have a huge celebration just to commemorate, okay, it was postponed, but we still gonna make sure it's special.
Okay, all right. I have another question for Dr. S. Do you have any updates regarding the summer programs?
Sure. So right now it is looking like, unless something major changes, that our summer programs will primarily be virtual. So, just given some of what we all have learned about the virus and moving forward, we'll probably have a large portion of our summer programming that will be virtual. And we will be prioritizing one of the groups, not the only group, but one of the groups will be prioritizing our high school students who need credits for the summer and preparation for advanced placement and other things for that. Stay tuned to hear what else will be part of summer. We're trying to also gauge with where the state is in terms of gatherings and what phase we're in. You know how the governor introduced the 3 phases of opening back over the state. We're looking in the next week or two, we're supposedly going to get, we're supposed to hear what that phasing looks like for schools too. So that'll give us some indication of summer, but minimally we will be doing some kind of virtual summer school, and we will be prioritizing high school students that need to get credit and ready for some challenging coursework next year.
Thank you. Now, I have another question for the panel. What do you, and this is, like I said, this is for the entire panel, what are your thoughts on, summer proceedings, like things like YouthWorks or just summer jobs? Like, I know me, I'll speak on it specifically. I had YouthWorks jobs lined up. I was going to work with the team for one, like, again, this was my last year. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to do it. This is going to mean a lot. But things are looking like I won't be able to. So I know personally it's a little wrench in the gears. So it kind of sucks. But what do you guys think about, the loss of summer jobs and the postponing of YouthWorks or canceling of YouthWorks?
Well, I work with Urban Alliance, and they still do like virtual work through Zoom, and they give us assignments, and we just get paid for that. It's not as much as we would be getting paid if we were on site, but we still get some type of incentive. So I think that's what they should do for YouthWorks. That way, for everybody who is looking forward to it, can still experience as much as they could.
Would anyone like to add on?
I also work through Urban Alliance. So just like an elder said, we still are able to do assignments at home, and we're still getting paid for the work that we do. So I feel as though all other organizations who help youth find work, they should also be able to get paid some way, and don't let the pandemic just, bring everyone's hope down, because I'm sure a lot of students were excited and looking forward to having summer jobs.
All right, Jamari, what are your thoughts?
I feel like they should find a way. I was planning on getting a job through YouthWorks so that I can save my money up for when I go to college. I will have some money saved up to do whatever I wanted to do and stuff like that. But since it's canceled, I don't know what I'm going to do. So yeah.
Okay, did you have a job before or any like internship or work that you had before?
I never worked for IBM. I did have an internship with IBM. So I was getting paid.
Alrighty. Now, Dr. S, can you tell me, are you worried about summer jobs for kids?
Yes, we are worried because we know so many of our young people, as you all were just discussing, have had more and more opportunity for summer jobs. The great work that YouthWorks has done, as you all have discussed, has really been an opportunity that our young people have looked forward to. We have been having discussions about where possible, having employers make virtual internships and summer jobs, just like young elder was referencing earlier. I know that in our office, we are trying to have virtual opportunities for young people. So we're still trying to work with that. The other piece, and young people know this as well as I do, and that is with the economy. We are, we're also looking to see what kind of jobs will come back online as we open up. And then I am hearing Jason Perkins Cohen, who heads up YouthWorks for the city is here, and he's going to jump online and talk about this a bit too. So I will turn it over to Jason to finish, if that's all right with you, Bryce.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Is he here? There we go. How
I am
are you?
here. Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks, Dr. Santelises. I'm the director of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, and I appreciate you all, and I appreciate your support and advocacy for YouthWorks. So actually, YouthWorks is not canceled for this summer. We are looking at our options with the intention to have a virtual work experience, because that's the times we're in. We don't have all the details worked out at all. We know, much like the school system is dealing with the digital divide, we're going to have the same thing when we talk about remote work. And we're trying to come up with the best opportunities that provide value to young people with the support in place, not just the digital support, but interactions with a supervisor and some choice for young people to make in terms of their virtual job. We don't have it all. I'm telling you, I'm on the phone. We're working out details all day long, because we know how important this is to you and other young people and adults as well, and to employers. So I know it's a big issue, and we want to give you details as soon as we have them. And I'm happy to jump back on a future conversation to give you an update.
Honestly, thank you so much for jumping on. I had no idea you were coming. It's funny that I asked that question. You were just like, boom, and there it is.
So Bryce, we got to keep it in the family, Bryce. So this is my husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that YouthWorks is not canceling. This is huge.
And it's a good thing that the Perkins-Cohen family was on this session together. So now hope is ringing through City of Baltimore for young people connected to YouthWorks.
Thank you so much. Good luck to everybody.
That was like a HBO twist. I didn't see that coming. All right. Well, I have one more question, and that could be for Miss Sappy, I believe. What's going on? What are we gonna do about the kindergarten and pre-kindergarten kids?
Hi everyone. Yes, so pre-kindergarten and kindergarten is definitely in the forefront of our thinking, and we have been releasing family guides each week to support our pre-K and kindergarten students. For example, in pre-kindergarten, each day there's an ELA and math lesson that parents and students can engage in via YouTube on their phones. There's also work packets. There's science activities, social studies activities. And then in kindergarten, there's the knowledge on the go videos for ELA and math, as well as the communication and the collaboration with teachers through Google Classrooms, as well as Blackboard Collaborate. We know for our youngest students, it is most difficult to be on the technology all day long. So we are trying to make sure that it's engaging and they are just continuing to learn and have fun while they're doing that.
Thank you.
Hi, Bryce. This is Tina Highcupboard. I also want to add to that we are launching an online platform for pre-KK enrollment. So we were supposed to launch April 14th. It will be launched the week of May 15th. So we still want to have all of our folks know that pre-KK enrollment will be taking place online starting mid-May. So look for more information to come.
Thank you so much, Ms. Highcupboard. Now, we've been talking a lot about, student voice, and I almost feel sad because I've left out, the younger kids. We think seniors because we're graduating, but what about 8th graders? Dr. S, what about 8th grade promotion and their proceedings? How's that going to pay out?
Yeah, one of the things that I put in the chat, Bryce, that I will lift up for everybody listening is that I had a conversation with principals today and reminded school leaders that we should be planning virtual events for 5th and 8th graders as well. I am the mom of an 8th grader and 2 5th graders, and I will tell you they made it very clear to me that while they were sympathetic to high school seniors, they too wanted to make sure that they had some way to commemorate the move from elementary to middle school and from 8th grade to high school. So if you are a fifth or 8th grader or family for a 5th or 8th grader, and you have not yet heard, please do reach out to your principals. But I spoke with principals about that earlier this afternoon.
Oh, thank you so much. Would anyone like to add on or expound or anything? All right. Do we have any more questions from the audience? Any engagement? Please, students, ask questions. Any questions that you have, burning questions, please post them. All righty. Well, you know what? How about this? Panelists, Dr. S, anyone that's still on the call, could you give, just maybe one piece of advice for students that are going through this very tough time?
I can go. I think one piece of advice is just stay focused because it definitely is a lot of distractions. Even though you would think you're home, it wouldn't be that many distractions. But I feel like when you're home, it's always something like, oh, I could do this, or I could do that. Just try to stay focused. The year is almost over. So just lock in on your work. If you have questions, just ask your teachers. Even though it might be difficult to get to them, just try your best because that's what I've been doing. Just try your best to do whatever you can, and I think we're gonna come out really good.
I had something to say. So, the advice I would give is to stay focused and keep working hard, and always remember that your future is in your hands. So, if you have any work that you need to do, just do it. And yeah, stay focused too. So.
Some advice I would give is to, if you're a person like me who struggles with time management, I'd say try to create your own schedule so you can stay on top of the assignments that you need to complete. Because like I said, you don't have there's no teacher there to physically tell you that this work is due. You have to be responsible for yourself. And I know it may feel like that school kind of just lets you out, but it's not their fault. The pandemic happened and you kind of have to mature and do your own work and be on top of yourself. So I'd say try to stay motivated.
Yeah, and Tia took the words right out of my mouth in terms of the schedule. So the great minds think alike. But that was great advice, and I would say what I heard in all three of the students who shared was really this theme of persistence, Bryce. This theme of young people having the resilience and the focus to be able to weather this challenge, frankly, better than some adults are handling it. So really want to just emphasize that as well. And to say to young people, do not hesitate to reach out. Call our hotline. If you are struggling, if you're in the middle of a lesson, and one of my own daughters just one day kind of got frustrated, broke down, started crying a little bit. And, it's okay. Like, you can take a breather, call the hotline, reach out to one of your teachers. And if not that, I have also found that young people are sometimes the best support for other young people. And so friends and all of that. But I will tell you, we all have those challenges, but I just think you all were just so insightful in the feedback. It was great feedback.
Mr. Rashad, do you have any advice to give to our students?
I believe that what I've been always saying is I believe that everything is timely and it's purposeful, that you all were born into this world to experience exactly what we're going through, to learn from it, to grow through it, and to be at the decision-making table, that if this ever happens again, that you all have a lived experience that no one can question, and you know how to make it better for your children and other children that are come in the future. I say stay positive. Know that stay positive to the best of your ability. Try to stay open and active with in receiving of other people's messages and energy right now. We're all going through this. It's not easy. Don't think that you are alone in this at all. Although we're all isolated in our respective spots, that we're not alone. This is our way to just try to be innovative. I always say my big key is be innovative in this. Take this if it's a time, it gives us time to self-reflect. Reflect on what you want, reflect on your future, reflect on the world, and see where you can improvise and put yourself to make it better for you. Try to stay positive, stay healthy. Take this time to learn yourself. Take this time to motivate yourself. Take this time to motivate your peers. Take this time to be around family and loving people. Right? I think that's what's going to keep our morale up. And know that it's a silver lining tomorrow. And when everything opens back up, we can create our new normal. This gives us a place to create our new normal, right? It allows us to define our own lives. And I believe that you are equipped and you are already great. Just unlock it and show the world. Stay positive, stay active, stay engaged, and stay motivated.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rashard. Those are some very strong words, and I agree with you. I'll add on to myself that since the beginning, since all of this happened, since quarantine happened, my friends they were down, and I told myself I had to be positive because honestly, getting this work done, having a nice schedule, making sure you're staying engaged, all of that's going to be really difficult if you're not staying positive. And you honestly have to see the light at the end of the tunnel because you can't get through this if you're not feeling good about yourself. So if you need to get up and work out, if you need to get up, have a nice breakfast, make sure that you are keeping your spirits high, making sure that you're feeling good every day so you can get this work done. You can be engaged and you can keep your friends and your peers up together as we move through this very horrible time. And I can tell you, I feel like I know it's I feel it in my heart that we are gonna make it through it and we can look back at this and be like, hey, it was bad, but we're doing good now. So just stay positive. All righty. Well, I think that wraps a couple of things up. Actually, quick question for Dr. Sanalisis. Some senior questions. How are we dealing with the fourth quarter for seniors specifically?
Yes, so I think Dr. Pfeiffer is also still on the phone, but what I would say is the fourth quarter, we have a pass incomplete approach to the grading, as well as students can earn up to an additional 6 points on their final GPA for work that they complete during this time period. So it is still, worth the while to engage and, raise your GPA, raise your final grade within this period. So again, it's pass, incomplete. If you receive an incomplete because you just have challenging circumstances, and we know a lot of people in the city do right now, that incomplete means you'll have an opportunity if you're not a senior, if you're a freshman through a junior or younger, you'll have an opportunity to complete that later on. But we are encouraging all young people. No, it is not school as we know it, nor we want it to be, but school is still in session. You heard from, the young people here tonight, the students here tonight, that, that focus, staying connected. We have not canceled school yet. So please do stay connected, engaged. And if you still need technology, reach out to your school principal and let them know, him or her know, that you still need technology. We are working on internet and broadband. As we heard earlier, a little young elder let us know that there were challenges that he was sharing that frankly I've heard from people all across the city. So we are still working on that, but let us know.
Thank you so much, Dr. S. Now that brings us to the end of our CEO conversation. I'd like to thank everyone for participating, everyone that signed on, everyone that spoke, the panelists, and Dr. S, and the viewers as well. If you have any questions, please make sure you still enter them in the comments. You will be reached out to, and those questions will be answered. Now, honestly, there are some couple things that are happening. There is a Youth Up Next Presents programming hosted every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. The next CEO conversation with the school community will be on May 19th, starting at 5 p.m. and it'll end at 6 p.m. and it'll be on Facebook Live. And the next CEO Roundup, they're on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 1:30 via Facebook. Please make sure to either complete the census or ask your family to complete the census. It's important for our community, and we need to make sure that Baltimore is counted. You can fill it out by mail online at 2020census.gov or by phone at 844-330-2020. Dr. S, would you like to give your final remarks?
My final remarks are just a shout out to our fabulous moderator, Bryce Taylor, who did a great job. I didn't even have to worry about anything. You were in the driver's seat. You did a fabulous job. I want to thank Rashad Staten, as always, for being a voice for the young people, keeping the school system on track and making sure we're listening to young people. And he lets us know when we're off track on that. So I want to thank Mr. Staten for that. And then, I want to thank all the three young people that came out tonight, Jamari and Tia and Young Elder. Just your insight really helps us get better. And so I appreciate you all being honest about what the challenges are, but also about the triumphs along the way. So I thank you all. And it just proves to me why there's no better place to be but Baltimore City.
Doesn't get any better than that. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. See you next time.